And in this part of the training, we want to design a resume together that has both an infographic mode and is fully interactive and has a series of menus that by clicking on each menu, we can be transferred to the information of that part of the resume. Well, let's go and make this creative and different resume together. First, I want to put a photo as a background of all the slides, and for this, I right-click on the slide and select the Format Background option from the Picture or Texture Fill section and the Insert from a File section. I select the photo I downloaded earlier. Now you can also download the photo you want according to your work field and put it in the background of your slides. I want to give this photo transparency of 5%. Now I want this photo with the applied settings to be placed in the background of all the slides that I will create. So for this, I click on the Apply to All option. Now I want to put my photo in my resume. For this, I select my photo from the Insert, Pictures, and this device section and make it smaller by holding the Shift key. And I want to cut this photo into a circle. For this, I must first make sure that this photo is cut with a 1:1 ratio. For this, I select the 1:1 option from the crop and aspect ratio options. After I made sure that this photo was cropped with a 1:1 ratio, now I select a photo again from the crop and crop to shape section. I choose the circle option. Now I'm sure that my photo is cropped with a circle format. Now I want to have a color palette for this resume like the previous resume that we designed. If you remember in the previous project, we created a color palette for our resume with the help of the colors.co website that I introduced to you, and now I will copy this palette from the previous resume that we designed together and transfer it to our new resume. Now we are trying to develop our designs according to the same colors that exist here. Well, I choose my own photo from the picture format and picture border section. I give the thickness of 6 points to my photo. And I want to change its color to the navy color of the color palette. After the picture border and eyedropper section, I select navy color. I place the photo in the center of the slide using the Align Center option. Now I select the rectangle shape from the Insert and Shape section. And this is how I draw on the slide. We also try to use the features and shapes of the PowerPoint software as much as possible to design this resume so that we can carry out the design work much faster and more easily. Well, I choose a shape and I set the outline to no. I select the shape fill as black and I right click on my shape and I click on the format shape option and I select 85% from the transparency part until my shape is glass and placed in the right place. Now in this rectangular box, I want to type my name and job title. I insert the text box from the Insert and Text Box section and type my name. Select the text and I try to choose a font that is readable, simple, and standard. I choose Word on a font. I make the text bold, increase its size, and place it in the center of the slide. But to make sure that my text is exactly in the center of this shape, I select the text and this shape by holding the Shift key and then click on the Align and Align Center options to make sure that this text is placed exactly in the center of this shape. Now I want to enter my work title. I will take a copy of this text and enter my work title here. After I made the settings related to the writing, in the Insert and Shape section, this time I choose the rounded corner shape and I put it here. If I zoom a little on the slide, I can see the yellow handle of this shape, and then I increase the curvature of the beginning and end of this shape with the help of this yellow handle. Change the amount of outline to no, and change the shape fill to the pink color that was in our color palette. I reduce its thickness and place it in the center of the slide. Now I select my photo, and in the picture effect section, I can put a shadow around my photo using the shadow option. And I also choose this shape for this shape, and from the shape effect section, I assign a shadow to the shape. And now again, I select the rounded corner from the insert shape section, and with the help of the yellow handle, I increase the curvature of the beginning and end again. Set the outline value to no, and I change the shape fill value to navy blue. And from the insert and text box, I type the following text here. I select the text and adjust the font, color, and size. I think that if we change the color of the text to the navy color of our color palette, it can make our design more attractive. Okay, so now we are going to the next slide. To make the next slide, we will use PowerPoint shapes again from the Insert and Shape section. I will draw a rectangle shape here, where the location of our resume menus will be exactly in this section. I set the shape outline value to no, and change the shape fill to the navy color of our color palette. Now I select the rounded corner option again from the Insert and Shape section. And this is how I draw. I increase the amount of curvature at the beginning and the end of this shape. I change the value of outline to no, and shape fill to white color, and adjust its size, and select the new and rectangle shape, and with the help of align center options and align middle, I make sure that this white shape is exactly in the center of this navy color shape. Now, I will take a copy of our own photo that was in the previous slide. I will take it smaller in the new slide, and I will place it in the corresponding place. And we made its size smaller and its thickness increased a bit. For this reason, I choose the thickness of 3 points from the picture border and the weight option. Now I draw a rectangle here from the Insert and Shape section. In order to have the different parts of the menu here together, I change the outline value to no, and the shape fill value to white, and from the Insert and Text box, I type the text for each menu here. The first part is about our personal profile, and I will type the text here and make the font settings, and repeat this for the other parts as well. And in this way, we made our own resume menu. We talk about each section on each slide, and we made the color of that text navy. And other parts that are gray means that we don't talk about these parts, and we don't provide information about that part. And I also use the rounded corner shape, and under each part of the menu that is now active, and the information is displayed. Now, in order to put the information of each part of our resume on the the right side of our slide, I select rounded corner again from the insert and shape section. And I will draw this shape like this. The yellow handle that is here, I will reduce the amount of curvature around this shape and put it in its corresponding place. And now we can choose the gray color for it from the outline part. And we set the shape fill to white, and with the help of format shape, I set the transparency value to 85%, and I can even assign a shadow to my shape from the shape effect section of the shadow section. Now in this part, we want to put the information related to each menu. In the About Me part, which we prepared a series of information in the previous resume that put it in the part in the left column, we can use the same. I select these text and icons that we used in the previous resume, and to save time, I use the same information from the previous resume and select them. And I will transfer it to the new resume. Now you need to set the settings for the color and location of this new information in our resume. This is the title of the work, so I select the text, change it to a navy color, and set the font value to 24 points. And I can get help from the insert and shape parts of a shape, and I put text in this shape. We can put a brief explanation about our activity here. I will slightly increase the amount of curvature around the shape. Let's make a blank slide first and bring the information that we transferred from the previous resume to this slide and add this information to our new slide one by one. And in this way, I will put a brief explanation about my work field here. And even you can use a series of graphic designs here. I have already prepared this graphic design, and now I will transfer it to this part of the slide and resume, where you can also download a similar design from the FreePic website that is related to your work. Because I wrote here in the field of graphic designer, so I will put a similar design here and add other information in this section. To change the color of the icons, if you have already downloaded the icon and it is in PNG format and you want to change the color of the photo so that the new design can be seen better, like this case, it is now white and I want it to the black in order to be seen in the design. You can do this using the picture format option. I first select the color using the color options and then darken it with the help of corrections, and again using the color option. This time black is displayed here, and I select the black option and change the icon to black. That the icon can be seen well in this bright background, I will also change the color of the text, and then I will select information and make the settings in the relevant place. And now, in the next part of the information about me, I will place my resume, which I have now placed in this way, in the slide more regularly. Now that we have placed the information of the section about me in the resume on the page, now we can give animation to different sections, which I will do in the following. We can select the icon and text of each section and group that section by pressing Ctrl+G, and let's use the relevant animations. I select the first part of this information from the Add Animation and More Entrance Effect section and select an option for this section. I select Float Up and set the start value to after previous, and I set the duration value to half a second, and for example I want this animation to run from the top, so I choose the float down option, and now I want to apply this animation to other parts of the resume. Activate the animation painter by double clicking it and transfer this animation to other parts. And to disable this mode, just click once on the animation painter option. To disable this mode, I just want different parts of the hobby section to run together, so I can set the start value to with previous and only set the value of the first option to after previous. The first option of the hobbies section. Well, now we can choose Transition Morph for this slide from the Transition section to move from the first slide to the second slide with this effect. Now we can animate different parts of our menu, which I will do next with the help of the Add Animation and More Entrance Effect options. I will choose the zoom option and set its value to after previous, and I transfer the same animation to other parts with the help of animation painter option. And then we want the menu animations to run first, and then run the animations of the various graphic elements on the screen. So I select the animations of all these parts and move them to the top of this menu. I want the animations related to the menu to run first, and I will also select this line shape and use the wipe option to animate it and put after previous and put it here as the second animation. So let's go and see the output of the work we have designed so far. Of course, in the end now we will give links to different parts of our resume, which we will do at the end of the work when the slides are fully specified. But so far we have designed this work. Now we will come in the next parts and design other menus.